Hello there, Padawan learners, Jedi Masters, and lore legends. Welcome to the Bendu Podcast, where we talk all things Star Wars.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 7 of the Bendu Podcast, where we seek balance in the Force. I'm your home 117, and we have our other hosts, Nate Johns, Josh, and Nightcrawler. What up, guys?
I had no idea we were being chased by a Star Destroyer.
We were, dude. I mean,
This is the first time Why are we not more afraid at the intro of every episode?
Yeah. We in the Falcon, though? If we're in the Falcon, I think we're all right.
We're in the Falcon, so we're good. We're good.
Yeah, but we didn't stick to the side. We just kept running. Like, we got to do something here.
I mean, we're like
Khan.
We're just
hyperspace.
We're just kind of floating around in circles, and then we'll, attach to, by the dish there, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Can you imagine if they found us on the Millennium Falcon? We're like, yo, pull up a mic.
Hey, guys, come on. You got any blue milk?
Take your helmet off. It'll mess with our audio quality.
Before we get this started, Nightcrawler actually kind of showed us this earlier, but you got something over the week, I guess, that is pretty freaking epic, man. So if you're not watching on YouTube, go watch this part on YouTube. If you're listening to the audio, you want to see this. It's amazing.
Pretty big.
Oh my gosh, dude.
This is the Millennium Falcon, the big boy. 7,541 pieces, all of it.
That's insane.
I'm excited. It's
Wow.
The more impressive thing is the instruction manual. So hold on one second. It's spiral bound, bigger than my face, massive. But there's 4 boxes of bags of Legos inside this box as well. So it's an undertaking.
That's amazing, man.
To build it. It was what was the largest Lego set ever until the Coliseum came out.
Yeah.
But I think the Coliseum kind of cheats because I'm sure it's lots of just itty bitty tiny little pieces that make it 8,000 something pieces. But
it was like 9,000.
Is it? Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It looks cool though.
So I'm excited. Yeah.
You guys want to know what I found?
I don't know where I'm gonna put it once I get it built.
Your iPhone?
No, I found Ray's mom on Instagram.
Oh my gosh. Did you make a Prodigy account?
No, I legit typed in Ray's mom. I was like, oh, there are accounts here.
There's accounts that say Ray. I guess there could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So tonight, guys, we're going to talk about Obi-Wan wrapped up filming the new Star Wars Visions trailer, which, if you haven't seen it, is amazing. And I'm not an anime fan. Mara Jade confirmed, and Mando 3 filming, and Slave1. Like, it's not Slave1.
No more.
Yeah.
Fire
Then
spray.
we have a fun question to the cast, and if we have time, we're going to go through Nate's lore corner and also the Bad Batch discussion. So the finale, finally the finale. So Obi-Wan wrapped up filming. What do you guys hope we see? When do you think we'll actually get to see the finished product? Maul, you want to see Maul?
I mean, one of the things I hope we see Vader get awfully close to finding Luke and or Leia. And maybe Obi-Wan has to interfere from the sidelines or something, like with his hood up, doesn't show his face kind of thing. I sense your presence. I don't know. Who knows? But it'd be interesting for sure.
I actually kind of want to see some lightsaber fights after I thought about it. I kind of want to see that.
All I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since we know Hayden Christensen's in it, I hope we see flashbacks versus too much direct contact, just because that would break too much with A New Hope.
Yeah. Like filler, like filler and stuff like that, or maybe it would be really cool if he showed Vader communing with Qui-Gon's ghost. Like that would be
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, Yoda mentions it basically, so I would assume we would at least get a little bit of that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool if he's like kind of telling them like, this is not you, Anakin. You survived, but this is not you. Yeah.
Well, and I think we'll probably find out when it's coming out. I think it'll get kind of the Book of Boba Fett treatment at the end of Book of Boba Fett. I think it'll be the end teaser most likely. They'll just kind of lead into the next one because since Mando season 3 hasn't started filming yet, Obi-Wan's the next one in the chamber, so they'll kind of lead in with that. I would assume.
Yeah,
I would think next fall probably for Obi-Wan is my guess. I don't know if we'll see anything just because we didn't know about the Book of Fett at the end of Mando season 2, so it's not as shocking. So I could see an announcement outside of that.
Yeah. Do you think any of the stuff is going to tie in with other stuff Filoni's done? Like, because we know Deborah Chow is the one that's actually like in charge of the filming, right, for Kenobi. So, and she helped on Mandalorian season 2, I think, or 1, both.
Everything Filoni's been doing has been in some way linked. He's finding at least little threads to link everything. So I'm confident the Filoniverse grows.
I feel like Obi-Wan's with what's out there is harder to connect though with the Filoni stuff because I want to say in Rebels it was the holocron or the holocrons that brought him to Obi-Wan. It wasn't a person, so it's harder to connect that way. And we can't see that because we've already seen it in Rebels. I don't think we'll see Maul.
Yeah,
because he didn't know Obi-Wan was still around.
But what about Maul and Vader going at it?
I would love that, dude. Like, it would be kind of cool. You don't think you'll see any? Well, no, because I mean, you could, I guess, because Rebels.
How they do it.
Yeah,
but Inquisitors, maybe. I mean, finding Maul or
that honestly, would be cool.
The thing I want to know most is who's Rey's mom's grandma-in-law. That's what I really want to know. Who did Palpatine hook up with? Because I mean, who he had to use Force mind tricks to get somebody to sleep with a California raisin. Like, I just
did it happen before he became a California raisin? I mean, he was doing all sorts of stuff. You never know
which one of these cameras can I just take Josh off? Like, just take Josh off here. Yeah, it was the old lady that was like, "Who are you?" That's who it was.
He's like, "You'll call me Rey's mom's grandpa, or dad."
Yeah. So Visions, guys, did y'all get to see any of the Visions trailer? That the Star Wars anime that apparently is not going to be like canon. It's just going to be like Star Wars stuff.
This is a new one. Because I watched it today and it seemed like it was a little bit different than the reveal of this. Yeah, and it looks they focused around lightsabers like so much in this trailer, and the ignition sound of lightsabers is just all throughout this trailer. And there was even, what was the one on a staff that was spinning around double bladed? Like, that looked super cool.
Yeah,
that was deflecting blaster shots. And then everyone has Kylo's power to freeze laser bolts in the air now. It looks pretty cool. There's stun beams being frozen and thrown back, and there's laser beams being frozen, and it's gonna be some cool stuff. Is it all subtitled as well though?
I think it's dubbed.
I'm gonna dub it.
Yeah, okay. I think it's dubbed. Yeah,
I know there's a dubbed version of the trailer.
We have a dubbed version of the trailer on our YouTube page, so you can find it there, or the official Star Wars. They have a dubbed version as well. So, but dude, I'm not an anime fan.
That was a cartoon. I checked out.
I mean, it is a cartoon, Josh. I think you'd like it. I'm not an anime fan, man. I mean, like my existence in the anime world is like Dragon Ball Z and what's the other one? The Last Airbender, you know? So like when I saw this and I saw like it has a very strong like Japanese feel, almost like Ghost of Tsushima, like that kind of feel. I was like, okay, I think I can dig on this. Like, this looks pretty freaking good. Like, I can get over like some of the aesthetics and things like that. Because it looks like it's going to be some really cool story. And like you were saying, Crawler, like sabers are everywhere. You know, was that a whip saber that we saw on one of them? Like kind of like in Legends, like a whip lightsaber was wrapping around.
Rewatch it. I know that the one on the end of the staff that was spinning all crazy was really cool.
Yeah,
but like the how the legacy sabers are presented at Disney World in those like cases, like some of the characters are pulling out lightsabers that are in kind of similar style display cases, which are pretty cool.
You guys remember Ivy from Soul Calibur 4? Wasn't it kind of like her weapon? You guys remember?
I don't remember
the weapon you're kind of thinking of, and if
it like almost has like a bunch of mini blades that then go together on a whip. But I thought from when I watched it, but see, I think I watched the first trailer. The second trailer, I honestly just didn't have time to watch it. I did watch all Bad Batch, so you guys can leave me alone on that one.
Finally,
but, I watched the season finale the day it dropped.
Yeah,
the day it dropped, and then I got all excited about all the lore, and then I went to go type it in our notes, and you'd already done it, and I was like, "Son of a!" I wanted to be helpful.
Yeah,
I tried, but yeah, did I just segue us, or did I cut Nate off? That's what
I don't have much to say about it. I'll probably watch it, but I'm not overly excited about Visions.
Did they say if they're doing that episodically, or is it all going to drop?
I'm guessing it's episodic.
Yeah, and it's all like just completely different episodes every.
It's anthology.
Yeah, because it's 9 different creators that they just let them loose non-canonically to make whatever kind of Star Wars story they wanted to.
Yeah.
And that, since it's not canon, I'm not as excited about that either.
Yeah, that's kind of a hang up. I can see some people, and I went back and looked. There's the timestamp, guys. There is like a whip lightsaber. So it's almost like a Star Wars What If, right? Like it's almost.
That's canon.
Yeah, true. That is true. Marvel's What If is canon, but I mean, I like that they're actually kind of doing this, and maybe they will bring it into canon, like eventually, and say like this is just an experiment, and then they may be like, okay, yeah, let's do it, you know.
Have any of you guys watched Halo Legends?
I think I watched part of one once.
So it's a very similar thing. It's like, and someone in chat, Full Turbo, saying Animatrix. It's like that. It's like 5 or 6, maybe 10 different stories, all told from different animation styles and studios. But I mean, some of them are really cool, like kind of like the Elite, like Last Ronin style of story, stuff like that. It's
nice.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So segue, Mara Jade is confirmed to be in Star Wars. Like how is this gonna happen, guys? Like,
praise mom.
Yeah.
It's Rey's actual mom.
No.
It's Rey's actual mom. The Emperor lied to her.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why she says she's a Skywalker. That's why Filoni's bring Mara Jade so that they can birth Rey, and Luke is too afraid to be a dad.
How do they fix the canon then? Because Brie Larson is apparently supposed to be
Rey's mom,
Mara Jade.
Well, Rey is not. Rey's not from Luke, though.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work, Josh. It doesn't work.
How come this doesn't work?
Because Rey is a Palpatine, like by blood.
Listen, if Filoni doesn't want to get rid of the sequels, he could right some wrongs by saying, I mean, who wouldn't expect the Emperor to lie?
Yeah, maybe.
And she even says, I'm a Skywalker. They left it open to be like, oh, I guess she is. All of a sudden, I like that movie just a tiny bit more.
She was adopted in as a Skywalker, but I don't know. I mean,
you can't handle Luke not being like a nun?
No. We're just saying you're on the wrong side of the family tree, bro.
An interesting theory. I don't remember where I read it, but the interesting theory I saw, especially with the end of Bad Batch tying in with this, and Heir to the Empire kind of legend stuff being brought into semi-canon now, is maybe Luke in Last Jedi is not Luke, it's Luke's clone. And
that's Rey's mom? I mean, Rey's dad?
I mean, in the comics, though, the Darth Vader comics, they have Luke's hand on Exegol, so maybe they did clone him.
Luke's hand is supposed to be at that Mount Tantiss facility, because that's where
why
they cloned him.
Why would Luke and Anakin's lightsaber speak so strongly to Rey if she's a Palpatine?
Because of the crystal, the Kyber crystal inside the lightsaber, they bond with the Jedi that they belong to, basically. And so they still have like their own voice because they'll call out to Jedi. So it may just be that Kyber crystal like calling out to her saying like, you're the next person to hold me. Here's my history. You got a lot
I thought we were
catch up
here.
on.
I thought we were of the dyad with her and Kylo.
Yeah. And it might be
that Skywalker link.
But they could be cousins.
No. Josh, no.
And the I love you wasn't like romantic, it was like family.
Josh. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's no different than Luke and Leia in the original trilogy.
Yeah,
but at least they didn't know.
Let's keep it. Well, they didn't know either. Palpatine lied to her. She's like, then Luke's ghost is gonna be like walking. She's like, just like you kissed your cousin. So good thing he, like good thing you didn't bring him back because that would have been awkward,
man. So, Mara Jade, do you guys like the idea?
I like where this is going.
Yes. I'm excited. I would like more. I think Filoni has the idea. I think he's kind of upset that Disney wiped Legends from canon, and I think he's doing his damnedest to pull it all back in as much as he can.
Yeah.
And I think Mara Jade was a really cool storyline from Legends, and she was the Emperor's hand. She was an assassin that did all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
She ended up finding the light with Luke, and they defeated Luke's clone and all sorts of stuff, and then went on to have a life together, and Ben Skywalker. And
they could still do some of that, just maybe it's not Luke focused. Maybe it's a different path that she takes with it. Take the general idea of the character. I mean, the Thrawn that we get isn't exactly the same Thrawn we had in Legends.
True.
So,
if we don't go with my theory and we go with Mr. Mulehorn's theory, it means we're going to have 16 episodes of sexual tension, and I'm not down with it.
Oh my gosh. Segue off of that. Mandalorian season 3 filming soon. What do you guys want to see in season 3 of Mando? Not
Luke?
Rey's mom. Not Rey's mom.
I want to see Luke's Jedi Academy.
That would be freaking
And maybe that's where we get Mara Jade.
That would be amazing.
I wonder if we don't see any of Luke or Grogu.
Why do you want to hurt my soul in every way that you possibly can? You are on the dark side. You are my brother, Nate.
I think it's to be more focused on Mandalore.
I think so too. I agree, Nate.
Yeah. I honestly wonder if the child went a little further than they thought he was, and they had to change their plans a little.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea now that it'll probably be grittier, honestly. Mm-hmm. Now that you don't have, Grogu in there in the mix. Like, even though he's like, oh, he's seen worse, Grogu has seen some bad stuff. But like, I think it'll be a little more grittier because what I think is Filoni is setting it up to where like Book of Boba Fett is supposed to be like really gritty, right? Like, Boba's a BA bounty hunter. So I think like with Mando 3, we're going to see a lot of that grit as well, and kind of a return to like a more Western style, Star Wars, where you're going to see a little bit of conflict, maybe with Bo-Katan, because she's lost the saber how many times now?
Well, and they're looking for a Sabine for Ahsoka, aren't they? For the show
I think so.
there. So maybe once they get that cast, hopefully they stick with kind of the theme they're going with, giving the live action parts to their voiceover counterparts, and they find a way that they can, once they have that cast, then they can do the crossover stuff and have Sabine in Mando season 3.
Yeah.
I don't know if Sabine's voice actress would work as a live action Sabine though.
Probably not, but there has been some rumors out there about who might fill that role. So it's going to be interesting to see, what happens there. I don't know, man. I'm just excited that we're finally getting more Star Wars like films and Disney Plus shows and things like that are going to be coming out soon.
Did we get a date for Bad Batch season 2?
2022 is the year. Yeah, that's it.
Next year.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It was crazy to think that was 16 weeks.
Yeah, that's
they didn't take a
nuts.
week off, did they?
I've known you for that long, Nate.
True. Oh my gosh. All right, so this is a hot button topic. We got to talk about it
I'm nervous
because Josh wanted to talk about it for sure.
That is not what I said in the Discord. I said,
"Oh, sorry.
I have lots to say, but that was way after this topic was brought up. Way after.
Oh, okay. So apparently, Slave1 is not Slave1 anymore. And what do you guys think about this? Do you think it's like a little too overboard, or I mean, what's the new name now? Like fire something?
Fire sprayer.
Well, and the lore behind that is that's the type the
of ship
class ship type that it is.
Yeah.
It's like naming your dog.
Dog. German Shepherd, come here.
Yeah, like the Millennium Falcon. Nope. It's now the Carillion. That's it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Freighter.
Yeah, it's just freighter. Hey, be nice to freighter. Be nice to freighter.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's a little overboard.
Yeah.
I mean, slave Leia, Anakin was a slave. Anakin's mom was a slave. Slavery's existing on Tatooine.
Wookiees were slaves. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's if we're just trying to.
There's car parts that are slaves. Look it up.
I'll let you do that.
Like a clutch slave or something. I don't know. It's there.
Oh my god. Oh.
I mean, yeah. I think because the nicest version of Slave1 that came out as Legos wasn't even called Slave1.
Yeah.
The big one. It was. I think they called it just Boba Fett's starship or something like that.
Yeah, and Lego has a history. They kind of do that. They kind of rename some things. So like that wasn't a big deal, but it's like official now that they're gonna I guess change the name in canon. So, Nate, what do you think, man?
I really don't care. It's just, I mean, it's a name, and if they can do it, maybe they do it in a way where it's going after this point. It's the new name, and there's a reason behind it. Like in the Book of Fett or something, they can somehow rename it. But
yeah. Josh.
I mean, it's like renaming the Sears Tower.
Yeah.
True. Everyone still calls it the Willis Tower.
Everyone still calls it the Sears Tower. It's not,
not the Willis Tower. Everyone calls it the Sears Tower.
Yeah. Josh, what do you think?
I mean, I'm trying to even look up for reasons why. Like, I've never seen, I don't think I've ever even seen a conversation about it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
ultimately I want to be sensitive to people. Like if there's somebody that's really, really upset by it, but I mean, it's obviously I don't see everything. Nobody does, but it's just within the, like, I hadn't seen it ever really talked about, you know?
Yeah. I think it's just a way for them to be more sensitive to certain topics and things in our society. Honestly, I think it's a little overboard too. It's like, just let it be, man. Everyone's going to call it Slave1 anyways, you know?
Yeah.
Like, even though we have a name for Grogu, it's still Baby Yoda.
It's still Baby Yoda. Yeah. People, I mean, look, I'm wearing the shirt, man. It's Baby Yoda.
That's also in part because they haven't given Yoda's race a name.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
Which hopefully, maybe eventually we find.
Well,
something
apparently they're just going to be called the Yodas now that we're just calling ships after their builds.
the Yadel Yoda Grogu.
Yeah, they all make up the name together.
Yeah. All right, guys. So moving on to the fun question for the podcast, and this one, it's coming off Twitter. From what's their names? Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. The Star Wars Underworld. And I thought this would be, or I think it was Nate actually that found this. I thought it would be a really cool question to ask all of us on the podcast. Especially with Marvel and What If. If Lucasfilm created a Star Wars What If series and asked you to come up with an alternative scenario in the Star Wars universe to base an episode on, what would you choose? So let's hear it, guys. What would y'all choose? And guys in chat, feel free to that are watching us on YouTube, feel free to list any things as well.
I just had one come to mind.
Let's let Josh go first. He started.
Yeah, Josh looks like he's.
I mean, I think at this point there needs to be like an episode of Three's Company with Rey's mom, Luke, and Palpatine.
All right, cut him off. Cut him off.
Can I mute Josh? Just
Josh. Wait, for the younger audience, if you're here, it's kind of like it would be like a New Girl instead of. It would be like New Girl with like, or maybe it'd be Obi-Wan, I guess. I don't know. Who's Rey's mom?
Oh
yeah, it'd
my
be Luke.
God.
Oh god.
Yeah, it'd be Luke. So Three's Company with Luke, Rey's mom, or New Girl. Yeah. Who's that girl? Rey's mom. You know, like.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Jeez.
Hey, I was gonna say like Game of Thrones, but I was just like, nah, I don't want Luke and Leia doing that. So.
Oh my gosh, Josh. Jeez, man.
But I didn't say it.
We're gonna have to put an explicit warning now on our podcast. No.
No, I've explained it so children would have to ask, not know.
Mommy, Josh said this.
That mean?
Oh my gosh.
So much incest discussion on this podcast.
Jeez, man. Jeez.
They're worried about the name of a ship.
All right, Nightcrawler. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I've been thinking about this a little bit, but we're in the Coliseum on Geonosis, and Jango's not a little bitch, and he activates his jetpack and blows Mace Windu away with actually utilizing both of his blasters and all of his tricks because he's supposedly this BA bounty hunter, and he and Boba leave Geonosis and they go on, and you just see kind of what could be and what Jango actually wanted to have for like the whole father and son bounty hunter life that he had planned out.
Yeah.
So the Emperor doesn't get burned.
Yeah. He doesn't get the face scars.
Yeah,
he
doesn't get the scars.
Same one.
Yep.
That means all the Jedi in that room are dead.
Yep.
And who knows? Maybe Anakin beats Obi-Wan at that point too.
Maybe. Yeah.
What if?
Yeah. What about you, Nate?
What if Qui-Gon doesn't die?
Oh.
Ooh. Wow.
You have like a Grandmaster Anakin, I think. Like surpassing Yoda.
What is Qui-Gon training Anakin?
Dang,
Wow.
that would be a good one, man.
Think about that. That's really good.
That would be really cool to see, man. Like full potential Jedi Anakin. Holy crap. There'd be nothing stopping him, man.
Fall?
I don't think so. Because that's like the thing, right? Duel of Fates is like, if Qui-Gon dies, then his fate is this. If he doesn't die, then his fate is he's the chosen one, you know?
And then it's like Obi-Wan is jealous Because
maybe Obi-Wan becomes boss.
and then he becomes
the
Qui-Gon was confident that Obi-Wan was ready for the trials, and he even told him that.
yeah, and they both thought Anakin was the one.
Well,
yeah,
Obi-Wan did.
Obi-Wan
not at first, yeah.
There, yeah,
he got there. That's
Just
a good one.
One quick question I've always wondered: do you think they were worried about hiding the kids from Anakin after what happened to the younglings?
I don't even know what to say anymore, Josh.
You think she was like, "You can't let him find him. I know what he does to kids. Keep him away."
We can't bring him anywhere, can we?
We can't, man.
Hey, I think it's a legitimate theory. I've had a couple of them tonight. I'm gonna start writing fan fiction.
So here's my what if here. I think this could be really cool. Is that the Battle of Geonosis, the Sith win and the Geonosians win, and they kill Obi-Wan and all the other Jedi, and Anakin's the only one that survives, right? And he becomes a slave again and is now like an arena gladiator that they just put up all these beasts and creatures against, and all the Geonosians and all these other people from all over the world come and watch him in like gladiator battles. Kind of like almost like Starkiller and The Force Unleashed 2, something like that. Like it'd be really cool to see Anakin just performing like these crazy feats of like the Force, and basically getting himself back to realizing he is the chosen one, and overthrowing the Sith and starting a new academy and things like that. Like, I think that would be really cool to see something like that. Like just Anakin just being a boss and not necessarily like becoming a Darth Vader where his limbs are chopped off and he's burned and things like that, but just like a full potential Anakin that like overcomes all that. Like, being thrown into it again, and then just he rises up to fulfill his destiny. So
I got a real one.
Okay.
What if Return of the Jedi, Leia shows up with Chewie, then after pulling the thermal detonator, goes to release Han with her lightsaber. And as she's getting caught, massive fight scene. Maybe Luke shows up at that point, and they end up just wiping the place clean.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
But Boba gets out.
Yeah, Boba would find a way.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything.
He jumps into the Rancor and waits for them to leave, and then fights. You gotta keep it on brand for him. He's gotta jump into some giant monster.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah, you're kind of right. It doesn't change anything because almost every single person.
Well, it takes her out of her slave girl outfit, which I know would upset some people, but imagine the end of Return of the Jedi. It's the three of them fighting, similar to Qui-Gon, Darth, and right. You're seeing the three of them go at it. I don't know.
I mean,
I think
she doesn't even know.
Yeah, I would say you're also jumping ahead. She doesn't even know she's related to Luke or Force sensitive yet.
Not until Luke goes to confront Vader.
But in the what if she's already rocking her lightsaber, that means Luke trained her between Empire and Jedi.
You're saying
right?
Does it sooner?
You got to say at the end of Empire.
Guys, I promise Josh is a Star Wars fan.
Well, I was just going I was trying to tell the fun story in
Jabba's
palace.
The action scene is what he was.
I thought it could be assumed if she was rocking a lightsaber, just because the new movies kind of said anybody can use one if they want to. It doesn't mean back then she could have, right? So as grizzled old Star Wars fans, we're like, okay, she's definitely a Jedi, or at least a Padawan.
The what if is more, what if Obi-Wan told Luke the truth earlier, including who his sister was?
Yeah.
So it goes back even further, but just reimagining some of those scenes.
Find out
Yeah.
How does she find out? How do they find out they're related?
Yeah.
And maybe the fight turns sooner. It's not Luke losing or getting, melted, but the three of them are doing what Rey could do by herself and hold all the lightning in one lightsaber. And then maybe it ends something like that, And then maybe he's like, I'm not the dad of your kid. I'm sorry. I saw the future of what I was going to do. Forgive me. You are Rey's mom.
God.
And Luke's like, that's not what I was looking for. I already had one kid. I'm already about to find another kid. I don't even want that one.
Oh my gosh.
I take after my dad.
This train has been derailed by Josh again. Let's go ahead and send it to Nate for Nate's lore corner, because this is going to tie into our Bad Batch conversation. So, Nate.
We're actually going to send it to Nightcrawler because he did
okay.
So we are talking about, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier when we were talking about the end of Bad Batch and how it's tying into what could be the Filoniverse expanding. But Mount Tantiss, I believe that's how you say it, was the location that you see at the very end of Bad Batch. So if you haven't gotten there yet, that doesn't really spoil anything. It was just kind of the lingering image we were left with.
Things are spoiled for me just because I miss them.
I mean, it's because you don't watch them, Josh.
No, I mean, while I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, that happened? I better watch this twice.
Yeah, you almost need to watch everything twice because there's a lot more you catch. But going back to that, so Mount Tantiss is located on planet Wayland, which is an Imperial cloning and research facility. We actually see a little bit more of this at the end of Bad Batch there's multiple facilities. It appears there's more than one mountain that's hollowed out and has like an Imperial landing bay and other kinds of aspects built into the side of it. So canon, this is the first time we're seeing it, and like we said, it was shown at the end of Bad Batch. Nala Se was taken from Kamino at the end of the season and was delivered to the facility where we see Imperial scientists wearing the same uniform as Dr. Pershing from Mandalorian season 1 and 2. I guess he was in season 2 as well. So that's kind of, again, Filoni leaving us the breadcrumbs, linking everything together. So we have a link to Mando, we have a link to Legends, we have a link to episode 2, all sorts of stuff. We have links all over the place. In Legends, this was featured and created by the author from Heir to the Empire. And so it was a private storehouse for the Emperor. It had Sith artifacts, contained research and cloning facilities deep within the hollowed out mountain. Cloning was used by Thrawn to create, he manned his fleet of dreadnoughts that he created. The facility was guarded by a dark Jedi, Joris. I watched videos on how to say his name and now I'm blanking on it. Kobath, I believe is how you say it. But
no.
He was... No,
it's Sabath, I believe.
Sabath, that's right. I did. Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Ah, whoa!
Yeah, look at Josh knew something. Holy crap!
That's right. I'm a Star Wars fan. Check out my tape.
He ruins it by pointing down.
So Kabath was a clone. What?
Isn't it like Sabath, like the hand of the card game?
Is this gonna be your new Ray's mom? Every time you're just gonna say
whatever. Oh god.
Sabath. Kabath.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Sabak.
The video,
all
Sabak.
Star Wars.
Not Sabak. No, we're not going there. So he was a clone Jedi and then turned dark, and so he was kind of guarding the facility. It was destroyed by Luke and Mara Jade after they fought both him and Luke's clone, which we talked about earlier as well, which was created from his severed hand from Cloud City.
Speaking of bad names, Luke. It's like he's being cheered for in an arena. Luke, either that or being booed. One of the two. Like what?
Yeah, I mean, all they did was add an extra
Luke. Yeah, yeah.
It's like they could put it at the end. It's called the Luke U.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's big that they're pulling in from one of the most well-known Legends books out there. I was trying to dig around and find my copy of Heir to the Empire. I read it, I don't know how many years ago, so I need to reread it. But yeah, I'm excited for Filoni getting his run of stuff. He's doing what we needed Kathleen Kennedy to do back a few years ago, and now he's got it on the straight and narrow, I think.
Yeah, that's some cool tie-ins too, man. Love it. I love the lore in that. Speaking of,
what do you guys think's gonna happen though? Like, can we talk about it for a second? Like, what do we think's gonna come out of there? Are we gonna get? I mean, is Filoni gonna get into Snoke from there?
I think that's how we get into Snoke.
Yeah,
it's either that.
Do we want it? Do we care? Will it help those other movies?
I think it will. In the same way the Clone Wars TV show helped the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
And Palpatine had, I forget, it has a code name, but he had a failsafe built into his eminent, if he were assassinated or killed or just whatever. He had this facility set up with clones. Kind of, he took that Camino technology and started implementing failsafes for himself, and so that's what. And that's why Grogu is so important, and that's why, I mean, I think there's a way that they can tie this into the sequels, but there's also a way that the sequels don't happen if Moff Gideon succeeds at the end of season 2, and Luke showing up and saving Grogu.
Yeah.
Resets it kind of can create an official canonic multiverse where this doesn't happen and Luke's academy doesn't get destroyed by Ben Skywalker, and Mara Jade comes into the picture because we actually go meet her. Like, there's a whole possibilities. There's ways that it can lead to what we've seen, but there's also things that have happened, I think, since then that can be trigger points to be a branching path that could be new canon.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are gonna laugh at me probably.
Wait, what'd you say? What'd you say, Nate?
I would say I don't think we're gonna get new canon. I think it is what it is. They're not gonna get rid of the numbered movies that have happened.
Too much investment, you think?
If they could just George Lucas Luke Swedish chef in that lightsaber, that would at least help. Just be like, where he's like, joking, I got you there, didn't I, kid? I wouldn't throw this thing, it's sacred. Plus you're gonna hurt yourself with it.
Yeah.
So okay, I know you guys are gonna be like, what, you've watched stuff? Ezra, okay, spoiler alerts, right? Ezra's stuck in time somewhere, right?
He's
in unknown space
regions.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. What if, and we're gonna go with the what if here. What if Grogu is Yoda and Luke ends up helping him go back in time, and we see somebody find him and he's like, names him Yoda or whatever, maybe he changes his name.
You see my head right now? You see the look on my face? That's my brain exploding with this theory.
Right? Because of time travel. But like, then we find out it's a loop. It could start over. Luke could have helped Grogu understand more of what took place so he could stop it. And then the sequels can start over.
No, I mean, there won't be any time travel. There won't be any time travel. The only thing you could ever have like that in Star Wars is a world between worlds. And, you know, what happens. There's no like different timelines in Star Wars right now.
Lost theory.
Yeah.
Whatever happens.
Yeah.
What if
okay,
a clone of Yoda?
I don't think he is. Like, he was in the temple when the Clone Wars happened. So why would they have a clone of Yoda, especially if it's hard to clone Jedi and Palpatine couldn't even perfect it? Like, why would the Jedi have a clone of, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I think it's just another like Yaddle or whatever.
Well,
but
Qui-Gon's pretty sneaky with getting a little prick of blood, right? So you never know. He might have walked up to Yoda and been like, and then handed that off to
Sifo-Dyas. If you're wanting to go down that path, it would be Sifo-Dyas.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, so let's real quick so we can finish this up here. Bad Batch finale. What were your thoughts, guys? Do you like?
I liked it, but I wish it was one episode
and not two.
I didn't
I wish they had made it just an hour-long episode. Yeah, that would have been.
The second half was not worth waiting for them just to escape. I mean, especially since nothing really changed other than Crosshair. I mean, the stuff they did with Crosshair was good, but
it was good, but
it all wrapped into one episode.
I felt like it left just a weird taste in my mouth with Crosshair, because like he's choosing to want to be this kind of maniacal. They're setting him up to be the villain for next season a little bit as well, even though they're kind of.
You've met his dad and half brother, right? You've met his dad and half brother.
Yeah.
Who's now sitting on the throne.
True.
He's like, of course my uncle's crazy. Do they call each other uncles?
I don't think they call it their brothers. I mean, at that point, because that's what
like, it's like a half brother. He's like, yo, I didn't get that accelerant. I don't know what that is or who that is, but I didn't get it.
It was interesting to learn that Omega is older than the Bad Batch,
and that means she's older than Boba. So, she was the first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was the first. She was the first clone, and so she's the original template clone.
She's based off Ray's mom, who went in the time loop.
Oh my gosh.
She's been stuck in the time loop with Grogu, just randomly getting dumped off periodically, and she's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah. But
I mean, I don't think the accelerant was that quick for the clones.
It would have to be. I mean, they have the accelerated learning, and it shows them like everything helps them do things quicker.
I mean, they were just conveniently Boba's age for that learning sequence in episode 2, and then all of a sudden they're Jango's age.
Yeah.
The whole cloning thing leads to a lot of different questions, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the big, oh wow, he was deciding to do this, like. But I think what was happening is he also saw a place for power, right? He saw a place of not having to be on the run. He saw a place of power. He took the opportunity.
He also doesn't have to listen to Hunter anymore. I mean,
or Wrecker,
or he was lying.
Yeah,
did rub his head a bunch still.
Yeah,
and that very well could be. But I mean, it seemed like he liked what he was doing, at least the way they made him, and he wasn't happy about having to go back with him. He was kind of like,
well, right? Yeah, and I want to know when did he remove his chip? If that's like what he said, he's like, I removed mine a long time ago. Well, didn't they show in that episode of his chip? Like
they amplified his chip back in like episode 2 or 3.
Yeah,
and I want to say there was one where he got hit in the head or something. There was an episode midway through this series.
Maybe it was the radiation from the ion engine.
Yeah,
right next to his head.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Maybe Omega's Boba's mom.
I mean, they're brother and sister basically. So.
Of the same genetic makeup, they're like Luke and Leia. They're twins.
Yeah.
Well, not yeah.
Just one is younger than the other. So,
without like asking kind of a serious question though, like I wonder if her being the first successful, if they kind of spliced some DNA and whatnot with I don't know how the clone process works exactly within Star Wars, so I guess I can turn my card in again, but.
Well,
I'm curious. What's the importance of her? What's the importance of her non-clone? Why was she chosen?
Well,
I want to know more.
The reason why they chose
yeah,
Django is because his DNA was almost perfect for it. Like he was like almost the perfect warrior. He knew how to fight Jedi. So Django's DNA was like perfection to them. Like they were like, this is why we chose him. Yeah. And they're like, his DNA would be easy to replicate because it was just like really pure and good, I guess.
So maybe they just hit the wrong button and they were like, oh, dang it.
I think what happened
hit the man button.
They got Omega, and like Omega is like they were like, oh, she's like way better than we thought. Let's take her genes and now like try to amplify them.
Dumb her down a bit and make her a man.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry, I didn't finish your sentence correctly. Dang it!
I wonder since they can speed up the aging process. I wonder if hers is stunted.
I don't think so. I think it's just normal, you know.
I mean, she seems about the same age that when we see Boba in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Can't tell me for 1 second if you didn't have the knowledge that the Caminos did that you wouldn't make your puppy stay a puppy forever. They thought she was cute and just wanted her to stay that way.
Or they needed her to extract as much as they could while she was.
That's what I was going to say. I think they took her DNA and used it for the Bad Batch. I think that's because, I mean, it was very sentimental, that place there. And the 99, the Clone Force 99 was sentimental to her, you know.
Wasn't she small enough to clean the vents? I mean, maybe that's really maybe it's a very practical reason.
Josh is fired, guys. Just wanting to let you know after this episode, he's been fired.
Oh, I'm trying to be the voice of reason here.
Yeah.
For those of you that are only listening, Nate just almost fell out of his chair. Which one? Yeah. With those of us that are on the Millennium Falcon, just say he's in the Falcon's bathroom right now.
Yeah.
Those are our reading material when we have to sit back there and what do they call it in Star Wars? They have a name for it, right? Yeah. I gotta go. What'd that guy do that ended up getting frozen?
The back tank. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Nate's sitting on right now.
Oh my god.
And crawlers in our holodeck for all you Star Trek fans.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's at Mulehorn Gaming if you want to tweet us.
Hey, do you hear that? That's me muting Josh for you guys on the stream. You can't hear anything he's saying now. Anyways. Yeah, so I want to know, what would you rate the first season of The Bad Batch?
7.
7?
I think they were the plot. I think they drew it out for a little bit and had those random one-off filler episodes that we've criticized a little bit and said they've felt kind of out of place. But I enjoyed what we saw. I think in the grand scheme of things, maybe after Book of Boba, after Mando season 3, after Bad Batch season 2, I think we can look back and maybe see what it is setting up.
I'd probably go 8. There's enough of that stuff that we haven't seen for the transition between the Republic to the Empire that kind of brings it up enough, and enough connections to the older shows between, seeing Cut and seeing Gregor and all that.
Yeah. Josh?
I mean, I feel like the majority of the show I really liked. I feel the end kind of just lagged a little bit, right? It was kind of like I was trying to get excited every week, but then it was like once we ended up on Camino, we all knew what was going to happen, right? It's kind of like when watching the prequels, we were like, yeah, we know this is going to happen, and so it does take a little bit of the wind out of the sails, I think. Not that it's a bad thing, because it's also great that we're still getting to see those stories, right? That was the other thing that was cool about the prequels.
Yeah,
one of the few things is we finally got to see, I guess George's vision for those movies. But yeah, so it kind of started to slow. So I would say 7, because I did enjoy it, and I loved seeing like the little Rancor was kind of cool. It's probably kind of cheesy for some people, but that's always one of my favorite species in Star Wars. And so to see any of it is like, I mean, don't get me wrong, if they were like on a planet full of them getting chased, like I would have been all about that. I think that would have been...
I think if Filoni has a chance, he'll go to Dathomir and give us some Rancor riding.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm down. So yeah, I mean, overall solid show. Like I think they do a great job of keeping it like just entertaining for kids, but then feeding us nerds plenty, of just like, this is for you. Oh, hey, did you see that? Oh, did you catch that? Like,
I think the chain codes was cool. We got some like canonical backstory on how they were able to cut off so much from the Jedi that did survive and oppress so quickly and effectively what they did in such a short time.
Yeah. I would give it an 8. I think it, like Nate, I think it was pretty solid. There were some heartstring moments for me that were really good. And so I'd have to give it an 8. So, but yeah, I'm excited for more stuff, man. I can't wait to see what else we got coming down the pipe. So, but that's
December book of
I know. Oh my gosh, just a few more months away, man. I'm excited. Well, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Make sure you visit mewhorngaming.com and click on the podcast menu for more great podcasts in the MSG network, like the Halo Infinite podcast. And make sure you like and subscribe for future episodes here, more great videos. Also, check out our description below on our Amazon link, our Epic Creator Code. There's lots of great ways you can support the channel. And remember, guys,
may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with us all.